What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken, here today to do two reviews, a double feature review of these two of the latest MVD Rewind collection releases of Mortuary and The House on Sorority Row. So yeah, both of these came out together. They're under the same label. I thought I would just give them both a watch and review them together. So I just ordered these last week. And yeah, I was super excited to get these in. I think they came out like right at the beginning of July. And because August has been so dry, I've been going back and just trying to get some of the past titles that I wanted in my collection. I have collected for this company before, MVD Rewind. I have a few releases. I have, I think, Abominable and Shadow Builder in my collection. I hope that's the right name. I have them over there. I probably should have brought them down before I filmed this, but I haven't watched either of those. Don't ask me why I don't watch my collection. I have no idea. But yeah, I'm super excited to check these out. And this is the first time I've ever watched this label, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it was awesome to finally dive into this label with these two releases. So like I said, I'm gonna talk about both of these releases. I'm gonna do a little bit of an unboxing for both of them. They are really cool releases that are available right now, and I'm pretty sure we do have that MVD Rewind sale. Depending on when I drop this, it could be over. But I'm pretty sure it's going on to like the 16th or something, August the 16th. But one thing to note is that I think I read before doing this video that this is no longer available on the MVD Rewind sale website. So you can still purchase it off of Amazon, but it's not available in that sale. Now, The House on Sorority Row should still be available. But before we get into talking about these guys, I want to ask that if you are not yet a subscriber of the Mid-Level Media channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button for more great content. Also, be sure to like this video, guys, and comment down below if you've seen either one of these films before. If you purchased these releases, what are your thoughts on them? Let me know in that comment section below. So yeah, I don't have a lot of notes written down for either one of these. Like I said, I just watched both of them. I watched Mortuary last night, and I just finished The House on Sorority Row right before I went in to film this. So I just thought I would kind of go in with my raw thoughts and opinions on both of these movies. They're not exactly like high art, not even for horror movies, so I don't really feel like I need to write down a bunch of notes for them or anything like that. So yeah, they were both fun though. I enjoyed both of these movies just for their fun kind of 80s cheesiness. But let's get into the first one, and that's Mortuary. And I can tell you right off the bat, guys, the thing I enjoyed the most about this movie is the man himself, Bill Paxton. I thought that he was absolutely awesome in this movie. Definitely the shining spotlight star of this film. And I don't want to give too much spoilers when it comes to these movies, but his performance was fantastic. I thought he was incredible in this movie, and everybody else around him is okay. And I'm trying to see like who else is in this movie. Mary McDonough, David Wallace, some of the other ones that were in this film. I don't really recognize any of them from being in anything else. But yeah, the mom and daughter, they're pretty good. I mean, the guy that's in the movie, he's okay. But they all speak with kind of, you know, cheesy dialogue, and they have, I know everybody hates it when I use the word cheesy for when I'm talking about 80s movies, but you know what I mean when I say that. It's not exactly the best acting that's going on in this film. Outside of Bill Paxton, I think Bill Paxton is like giving it 110%, and I can guarantee like people probably saw this film that made the movie Weird Science. I'm sure John Hughes watched this movie, and yeah, they were like, we got to get that guy. Like, there's something special about him. So he definitely stands out in this film for sure. And again, I don't want to give any spoilers surrounding his character, but there's a reveal revolving his character and like who he is and what he means to the movie, probably about halfway through. And it's not really one that's that shocking. You kind of expect it. They even like play it off as like you see him in this role, and it's almost like you're not supposed to know that it's him, but it's like it's clearly Bill Paxton. But I'm probably just spoiled something, right? But again, I'm sorry, these are like 40-year-old movies. I might spoil them a little bit. So this one came out in 1983, directed by Howard Avitas, and I don't really know anything else that director did. I'm not really familiar with his filmography. And yeah, it pretty much tells the story of this girl. Her father died. They're saying it was a suicide when really like she knows it was a murder. She's having nightmares about it. Her mom's being super sus and like trying to tell her that it was an accident clearly, but you know something's going on. And then they cut to like her in a seance with like the director of the morgue, and like there's weird stuff going on in there. And it's a cool movie. I like this movie quite a bit. I'd say of the two that I watched, this one was probably my favorite. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on. There are a lot of cool 80s vibes in this film. Like I said, you get through part of the movie, you kind of think that there might be some supernatural elements involved, and then it kind of ends up being more of just like the straight up like slasher type movie. But yeah, it's a fun movie. It's a different movie. The plot was interesting. I was engaged the whole time through. Like I said, Bill Paxton is absolutely phenomenal in this movie. I just loved him in this role for sure. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. It's a well-directed movie, you know. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I got to say about this movie. So let's go ahead and get into the packaging of this release, guys. Really cool packaging, really cool artwork on this one. I'm going to try to cut to an unboxing. No reversible cover art on this though, which I was a little bit disappointed, but you do get a cool little fold out poster. And this is like the nice touch that MVD brings to their releases right here, guys. Nice little cool fold out posters in there. And yeah, it's got a white disc, which is really plain Jane. And I don't love that, if I'm being honest. I wish there was some disc art, but there's not disc art. And it's fine sometimes. Let's getting into the actual transfer, guys, of this. I thought it was solid most of the movie. There are some pretty spotty portions of this film. There's a weird like color palette thing going on at one point. It feels like the entire like screen is tinted blue. It's kind of strange. In the daytime, it's very, very high levels of grains, very saturated. It doesn't look very good there. At least like in the opening sequences of this movie. So it's a solid transfer. There's definitely parts that do look really great. Some nice like facial detail, and everything looks crisp and clear and stuff. And a lot of the sequences in this movie, but there's definitely spots where it looks pretty rough, if I'm being honest. It's not like the best transfer in the world, but I thought that it was pretty good for the most part. And I mean, you're restoring these like older niche films, so you know, expect a little bit of lower quality here and there. Sometimes you get that with these releases. So yeah, this is a release by Scorpion, I think back in 2014, and I'm pretty sure they used the same transfer, but they might have done some work to it as well. I'm not exactly sure, but all the special features that were in that 2014 Scorpion release are in this release, and pretty much like they don't really have a lot of special features in this. There's no audio commentaries, anything like that. It is, you know, 1080p, 178 aspect ratio. The audio is a DTS HD Master Audio 2.0 mono. There's optional English subtitles. There's an interview with the composer John Kakavas. I think I'm saying his name right. That was a pretty funny interview because they kept asking John just about the movie, and they kept asking him, like, I mean, he's the composer of the film, and it's like they wanted him to talk about like the actors and like the filming process, and he was like, I don't know anything about that. I just wrote the music. And it was just funny. Like, they kept asking him these questions about Bill Paxton and how he became a big star, and did he know he was going to be a big star when he was on. I'm like, he's like, I don't know. I wasn't on set. I was just writing the music for the film. It was a pretty funny interview how he was pretty much just not answering anything that they were asking. So I don't know who the interviewer was, who was conducting that, or who came up with those questions, but definitely not the right person to have on for these questions. So it was a funny interview, but not a very informative special feature. So yeah, it's probably the best thing about this, if I'm being honest, this release, guys, is the movie itself. I really, really enjoyed this movie. This is probably gonna be pretty high on my list of 80s horror classics. Yeah, as a movie, guys, I would give it, it's not perfect. I give it a 3.5 out of a 5. It's definitely a fun movie, and one I can see myself revisiting probably closer to Halloween time or something. So let's go ahead and get into the next one, guys, and that is The House on Sorority Row. So this is the one I just finished, like right before filming this. This one was okay. It was okay. I didn't like it as much as Mortuary. I didn't really like any of the characters in it. They were all, you know, girls in the sorority, and none of them were very good, like acting wise. It does have like a notable actress in it that was in like Parenthood and a couple of other films that I did recognize. I'm trying to see if her name is in here. She's actually got a 40-minute long special feature in this, which I watched half of it. So just telling y'all right now, I didn't watch all the interviews, but I did watch a few of them. And yeah, like, they're fine in the movie, but I didn't really like care about any of them, if I'm being honest. They all get picked off very quickly. So this is pretty much like following the story. These girls in a sorority, their house mother is a real bitch, and they accidentally murder her. And then like she disappears and comes back to life, or something happens there, and then they find her in an attic. It's never really clear like what exactly happens in those moments. But yeah, people start coming up dead, and they think it might be the mother that's doing it. Maybe she came back to life, but then it's somebody else that's killing the girls. And you don't even really find out who that is, because they're wearing like a clown mask and stuff at the end of the movie. So I mean, as far as like the kills and stuff like that, as far as this movie, just speaking of it like as a pure slasher, it definitely had more kills than Mortuary. Like Mortuary, I even struggle to call Mortuary a slasher. There are slasher scenes, and it's more like a mystery thriller with a little bit of supernatural sprinkled in there, where this is more of just a straight up slasher. So there are a lot of deaths in this movie. There's a lot of good gore in this film. So if you just like straight up slashers from the 80s with some cool kills and gore, like, you're probably going to enjoy this film. So yeah, I mean, I liked it. It was okay. It's not the best movie, but it was fine. I'd probably give it like a 2.5 to 3 out of a 5. If I'm being honest. I'll have an official score when I put my Letterboxd up here, which if you guys aren't following me on Letterboxd, definitely hit the link down below and follow me on Letterboxd. I usually try to put those reviews up on my Letterboxd the second after I watch the movie, but sometimes I get behind, and I do like review spams where I review like 6 at once. So yeah, this movie was fun. I liked it. It's directed by Mark Roseman, which I did look at his filmography. He did some horror movies in the 80s, some science fiction type movies, and then he kind of moved into kids movies and Hallmark movies later on in his career. So definitely an interesting trajectory from him. He did the movie The Perfect Dad. I think it had like Heather Locklear and Hilary Duff in it, and it was like a mid-2000s like kids movie or something. I don't even know if I watched that movie, to be honest. Like a romance kids film or something like that. But yeah, he transitioned more to like the Hallmark genre of films like more recently in his career. So yeah, he's been working ever since this film, but definitely not like a notable like director or anything. So which, you know, to be honest, like this movie was pretty well directed. There were some interesting shots. I'm thinking of like the very end where the girl's like laying up in the attic and you see her laying there, and then you see like the clown down there at the bottom of the steps. There's some really cool shots in this. There's some nice coloring at the end, some really cool like lighting effects and stuff like that. A lot of cool colors that are used in the later half, which definitely look awesome in the in this transfer, this 1080p transfer. So yeah, just getting into the packaging of this one. So this is a cool cover art on this one. I really enjoy the cover art. And then we'll take it out, and this one actually has reversible cover art. So I'm going to show that off to you guys real quick. Go ahead and flip it around and show you all this cool reversible cover. I actually like the reversible cover art just a little bit better than the other one. I think that's pretty freaking dope right there. No discard on this one though, unfortunately. And then you do get the poster. So I really like that little touch that MVD does. I know I said it last time, but it's a cool touch just putting a little mini poster in your releases. So yeah, some cool packaging on this one. Definitely cooler than Mortuary. Yeah, these MVD rewinds are really cool. Just like they have like the video store stickers. I know it's a gimmick that a lot of different studios have been doing over the past few years, especially like the VHS slipcovers that Mill Creek has been doing. But I still think it's pretty cool when I see it, just how they put those stickers on there. And the cases are just look like a little bit more worn down, like it's an old VHS tape. So yeah, the packaging is awesome on this one. Getting into the transfer itself, like I said, there's a lot of like really bright colors, like in particular in that last half of the film. Not bright colors, but like vivid colors. There's a lot of colors like in the last 30 minutes of this film, and I think it all looks really excellent in this transfer. There's definitely fewer rough spots than Mortuary, I would say. Fewer spots that stand out, but they are still there. You do still see them here and there. But overall, there's some good grain balance in this. I thought that this was a pretty cool transfer, if you ask me. It's definitely better overall than Mortuary, I would say. But yeah, I thought the transfer was pretty good in this one. And getting into the special features, guys, this thing is absolutely loaded loaded with special features. There is so much in this. There's like almost, I would say, like 2 to 3 hours of like interviews. And these are like on the past like Scorpion release that came out in 2014, but it's nothing new for this release, but still, if you haven't owned this before, it's tons of new special features. Like I said, that actress that was in Parenthood, like she did a 40-minute long interview. There's an interview with Catherine McNeil, Ellen Davidson. There's 2 audio commentaries on here as well. There's an interview with the director. There's an alternate ending. There's a different scene to open it up, a pre-credit scene, an additional pre-credit scene, a director approved, optional English subtitles, and yeah, there's just tons of stuff in this release right there. Here, guys, TV spots, theatrical trailers, all of that good stuff. So overall, guys, at the end of the day, these are both going for, I think, $23.99 on Amazon right now. If you're a fan of this label, and you just want to collect like some cool horror movies with really awesome cover art, you could do worse. I think that these are both pretty solid movies. Like I said, I'd probably give this one a 3 out of 5. I'd give this one a 3.5 out of 5. Granted, based on the slasher horror scale, they're not like high art movies, but yeah, I enjoyed both of these. And yeah, I think they're really cool releases. I think they're worth a pickup overall. Like I said, what this one lacks in like the actual like quality of the movie, it makes up for with the reversible cover art and all the special features and the better transfer. And this one's just a better movie that lacks in all of those other areas. So they both have good and bad qualities, but I'd say, I don't know, for $23.99, they're definitely really cool pickups that I can probably go ahead and recommend to you guys to pick up today. And yeah, House on Sorority Row might still be available in that MVD sale. If it's still going on, I'll link it down below. Otherwise, I'll just link these 2 Amazon releases down below. So I appreciate you watching this double feature review, guys, and just listening to my ramblings for going on about 17 minutes, guys. I'm sure I was all over the place. Let me know in the comments below how you like the review, how you like these movies. Are you going to pick up these releases based on my recommendation? Also, be sure to like this video, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications for all of those future videos, and we'll see you next time.